In the captivating start, the protagonist tells his brother all and reveals his sister obsession. She was alive when he arrived. The scene was faked as a robbery, a self-deception. The sister's trick was so obvious the police saw through it quickly. At the moment his sister pleaded for help, Dick decided to be her silent supporter and bid her farewell. That's why he chose to remain silent in court. Only this way could their family snag a huge payout to cover the apartment loan. After revealing everything, Dick chose to hit the road. Come nightfall, border police stumbled upon a certain Dick hiding in a car talk about a wild game of hide and seek. Before the police could arrest him, Dick was hit by a lurking gunman. He lived, but now he's the deep sleeping beauty. Everyone thinks Dick is a hero. If you told the public he isn't, do you think they'd buy that? The chief's advice rings true. Sometimes what the public wants is the truth is just a truth. Dick has been on the run ever since, which, let's be honest, is the best outcome for us. Not only did we complete the mission, but we also gave the public a story. Huge couldn't accept the chief's plan though. He surrendered his gun immediately, opting to part ways, while the chief stayed calm, granting them 2 long vacations. What a great boss. The 6 suspects left the police station, facing a media frenzy, clueless about what happened. Subtitles: is it over? Obviously not. They began to feel their return to normalcy wasn't easy, as if being watched secretly. 6 days passed, and the suit guy was the first to crack, finding the reporter to spill some juicy secrets. What a gossip expert. The suit guy demanded more cash, but the bus robbery hype had already gone cold, and the reporter clearly wasn't in the mood to pay more. And thus began an unexpected tug-of-war. The suit guy insisted his scoop would cause a stir while the reporter was ready to leave. He also insisted on speaking with the reporter's boss and wanted to apply for police witness protection. Now that's a serious business negotiation. Meanwhile, the old lady and driver rushed to find Huge on holiday to tell the truth, afraid of being watched. They were so paranoid they didn't even dare bring their phones. Huge was confused until the driver explained they received a call from a reporter that morning. Subtitles: the reporter had interviewed survivors who said the suit-wearing man vanished after his boss was contacted. The reporter wanted to figure out what happened that night from the survivors' talk about a curious kitty. The survivors didn't say a word, and the driver and old lady got more scared as they went home, so they sought Huge out. They planned to spill the real beans about that night. Huge was puzzled. Didn't you already share the truth? But what the driver said next left him flabbergasted. Turns out the 3 people killed on the bus weren't even the robbers. The real robbers were the female influencers Ialu, piercings galore Amai, and the plump rogue. On the day of the incident, they began their heist after the bus took a scenic detour. Once the bus reached the designated spot, Dick jumped up and took the influencer hostage. Now that's what I call crossing the line. After retrieving his items, Dick exited the bus safely, like a movie scene. But the bold security demanded masks off. The influencer showed no fear and fiercely threatened the bald guy, saying they'd passed everyone's bank info to their pals. If anything went down, their buddies would track down the bald guy's family for some payback. In a split second of distraction, the influencer snagged the gun and took out the bald guy. She's such a movie heroine. Subsequently, she subdued the other 2 guards, sirens blared like movie effects, and the getaway car fled. The influencer threw the dead 3 under the bus and threatened the rest to finger the security guards as the robbers. How clever. And that's how the story unfolds. When the suit guy asked to identify the monster, it played right into the influencer's hands. The police let them go once they had a suspect. Little did they know, the guy the suit guy pointed out had been dead for 4 years. On the bus, the influencer was the first to speak up, and then the police said they'd all lied, weaving a tall tale. They wanted to spin it into self-defense, but lo and behold, the police just let them go. They drive to find Huge stemmed from the fact that the suit guy had been silenced by them, and they feared they were next. Upon learning everything, Huge decided to quietly watch the influencer and her crew. What a capture master. He discovered their hideout and secretly installed a bug to gather evidence. What a detective. Meanwhile, the influencer squad was in hot water. Coco, their boss, had to return the loot to close the case quickly. Coco clearly didn't want to take the loss, putting all the blame on them. What a clever little fox. But Hijacking had already walked away with their share of cash. Now they were stone broke, and Coco's deadline forced them to hunt Hijacking down. They tried to squeeze him for cash, but before turning himself in, Hijacking had given all the money to his girlfriend, and now that's drama. His girlfriend had splurged it all, using the cash to open a beauty salon, and now that's money goddess. The fuming influencer told the fat guy to use violence on Hijacking's girlfriend. Amazing. Huge was ready to charge in to save her, but alas, he was too late. She was already a victim of an unexpected tragedy. In order to pay her debts, the influencer planned to pull off another heist tonight. What a financial wizard. So, they headed for another unfamiliar business, but an unexpected person was on the bus this time. It was huge. He swiftly subdued the Pierce girl, catching the chubby guy and influencer off guard. The influencer planned to ditch the Pierce girl and escape with the chubby guy. What a brilliant plan.